What's going on, my people? So in this section we're going to be showing you how to feed your bullies from the age from 3 weeks old all the way up to 5 weeks old. We're going to be showing you puppies from weaning them off of their mother to then showing you the older puppies, what we introduce into their diet, and then from there we'll be showing you what we feed our pregnant females to then our females that are whelping the litters as well, just to help them with more supplements and stuff, and then also showing you how to feed the big boys. So let me show you first what we've got here before we actually show you the plate. What I like to do, obviously before we go into depth of everything, obviously remember this is all my opinion. This is how I like to do things. I'm not saying this is the right way of doing things, this is just the way the lair does things. Obviously I like to use kibble, weaning them off of their mother, just because I feel like there's more bacteria in raw meat than what there would be in a high value kibble. So what we like to use is a Royal Canin Maxi. We like to obviously use deionized water from the kettle. Just wait for it to cool down a little bit to make sure it's lukewarm. Obviously I've already done it because it can take some time to obviously mash down a little bit. So what we do is we actually put the deionized water into there, and if you look, try to show you as best as I can, we just mash it all up, yeah, and then obviously turn it into like a mash. So we want it to be as soft as possible because obviously they've only just come off of their mother, so you don't want no bits and bobs. That's why it's very good to just prep it up and make sure that you sit there and you obviously you mash it down and you make sure there's no bits and bobs left inside it. So once we've mashed it all down, I will then add some Royal Canin. Let me show you it. Oh, smash it up in the kitchen. This is what we'll be using. Yeah, some baby dog milk from Royal Canin. Yeah, so basically obviously going on how many pups you've got and the weight of your puppies, read the instructions, it's quite straightforward on there. If you look on, let me show you, if you look, you can see, tells you from how many weeks to start it, how many scoops to do per meal, etc, etc. So obviously make sure you read your instructions before you go into it. Obviously we've used it before, so we're just going to get it in there, show you guys. So obviously from 3 weeks old we've got 9 puppies there, so from 3 weeks old I would do the weight of them. So we do 120 ml of water to 6 scoops of Royal Canin baby milk. Let's do that quickly and then I'll show you what it looks like after that. 5, 6. Obviously I'm doing this video to show everyone. I get a lot of people ask me how we do it at the lair, how we wean our puppies off of the mum, etc. Obviously everything we're doing in these videos and these like this content that we're giving you is just to help people in the community and just to help you, like, just to raise your puppies the right way, you know. Like I said, I don't know it all. I'm not saying my way is the only way to do it. There's loads of different ways of doing it. You can use raw goat's milk. I've got that in here as well. But more so, I'm just sticking to the Royal Canin this time. Like I said, I'm still learning myself. So we're all experimenting new things. You know, this ain't our first one, but you know, I like to try new things and see if anything works better this way, and try just adding new bits and bobs in, you know. So now, the milk all here, pour it in. So make sure it's all mixed up in there. A little go. So yeah, boom. It's gonna get a bit messy, but we'll clean up after. Just mashing the milk into the biscuits. Like I said, I've done the biscuits earlier. So this is really soft now. So it looks a little bit like that. Let me finish this up. Best way to wean your puppies off from their mum is by doing it, take them off their mum for about 2.5 to 3 hours, and then obviously feed them, so give them a little bit more of an appetite. Make sure you take them off their mum for about 2.5 hours so they're ready. They're hungry. It should look a little bit something like that. You can add obviously a bit more water in there. You can add more water into that. I wouldn't add no more milk. Don't start filling it up with extra milk saying that ain't enough. Remember, they're only 3 weeks old, so they only just took them off their mum. So you can also always add more water because that's going to hydrate them. And another way of obviously hydrating them, how we've done it, is by leaving the biscuits to soak in with the deionized water. Then that way the water will stay inside the biscuits as well, and there'll be more hydration in there for them as well. So this is ready. To be honest with you, more so they just wear it more than they eat it for the first week or so. And then the way you're meant to do it is obviously from when they stop wearing it and they start eating it more, that's when you know to up the content of their food. That's the old school way of doing it. Obviously there's ways of doing it, like you can check how to do it on the ratios and stuff, but where we've been doing it for years now, so obviously I've got the hang of it now, so I know how to really do it. So yeah, again, that should be really looking, no harder than that. You know, you can mash it up a little bit more than that if you want, but that's literally like mash now. So boom, let's get that in there, feed it to the puppies, and then what I'll do is then I'll go ahead and show you what we're feeding the older puppies. Let's go on. Right, so now we're going to show you 2 of the older puppies. We're talking around the age of about 5 months to 6 months old, 4.5, sorry, to 6 months old. We've got an Enzo daughter, and we've also got a second generation of BullyLair's production as well, Siggy. So we're going to show you what we do and put into their food as we're slowly getting older now. So I showed you 3 weeks up until all the way till 8 weeks, and they go home. You can feed them that. If you wanted, you can slowly start to wean them off onto the raw. You can do it straight from 3 weeks old. I've done that before as well, but like I said, this time, like I said, I don't know it all, but we're experimenting, and now we're trying with the kibble, with the Royal Canin biscuit, with the Royal Canin milk, and just try it out that way. But like I said, you can start straight away with the ox mince, boneless. You start with the boneless first for the first couple of days, and then as you progress on, you can start adding slowly a bit more bone into the diet, and then obviously from there you just do the ratios as you would. But yeah, let me show you from what we do now from 4 months old to 6 months old, and then pretty much just all the way up. We just gradually show you through the dog's ages of what we're feeding them and what we're adding to their diet. So 2 of their bowls out. Use 2 of these. So I've got here a biscuit kibble. I've got a cup of this in here in each one of them. Not too much, just a little bit. So this one here we're using AVA large breed, junior.
Say it to the camera, because I'll do cutaway shots.
Cool, so yeah, we're using AVA puppy large breed. The reason why I like to use the AVA as they get older and in the yard and stuff is it's got cranberry extract and green tea. So what that does is it actually helps prevent the reinfections and stuff like that. So that's what I like to add the AVA. Not too much in, like I said, just a handful in it, a handful in each bowl, just to add a little bit more supplement into their diet, you know. I get a lot of people ask me, oh yeah, some people say it's bad to feed your dogs the kibble and the raw. Some people say you should only feed them raw. Some people say you should only feed them kibble and you should mix it. But some of us do the mix as well. I've always done it like this, and it works for me and my dogs. My dogs are all healthy. Don't have no problems with them. So yeah, this is the way we like to do it. So let me show you how we do it. You know, today we're using Dewormers complete. It's a lamb one. This is a lamb complete. You can use all different flavours. What we got here, veal. This is a veal complete. Actually says on the labels as well the content. 10% bone, 10% offal, 8% protein meat, should we say. So yeah, we're gonna give Siggy and Italia 1,500 grams each. I don't do it by weight and stuff like that. Have too many dogs to be weighing them through ratio and stuff. Like I said, we've been doing it for a few years now, so we're a little bit experienced in doing it from the eye. I just feed by looking at the dogs. If the dogs feel like they need a little bit less, I'll strip them down a little bit, and then we'll go for more walks and stuff. That's just the way we do things, you know. So yeah, now what we'll do is obviously I'll just mash it up a little bit in with the kibble, just mix it up a little bit. Just basically just to mix up the kibble with the meat. I'll give them a rabbit ear each. Wow. Rabbit ear each.
Why do you...
Reason why we use rabbit ear, sorry, I just got to gas. This is for worming, natural dewormer. So the fur will go inside the intestines, clear through, and if there's any worms or anything inside the intestines, it will come through as they go to digest it, and then basically clear them out in a natural way. So yeah, I like to give them a rabbit ear each and stuff. We've got some dried sprats, very good for them. These are whole dehydrated ones. We've got 50% protein in them, 38% oils and fats, 7% moisture, 5% salt, and 1% ash. So yeah, my dogs love these a lot. I suppose they're like chips from McDonald's or something. So yeah, put a handful of them in there. Apple cider vinegar.
Put it a bit down. Bit up.
So this is apple cider vinegar. Put a little squirt of that in there. I put it in their water and I put it in their food. It's good for all different things, hips, joints, natural fat burner. It's just a really good, yeah, for, and also reinfections, etc. Detoxes the body, everything. Very good.
Before you, I was gonna say, can you actually like get the bowl and do it in front of the camera? So anything you can really do like that, yeah.
Like this, yeah, just a little, get me, a little splash in there. Yeah. A little bit of turmeric, get it from Tesco's. Yeah. Also good for the joints and stuff as well. Just literally little slap of that in there. You can use a measuring spoon and stuff, but I'm not trying to use too much of that. It's just literally a little splash of that in there. What else are we going to put in here? Bit of coconut oil. Yeah, so this is good for the coat. Works within hours, literally. Little tip as well, sometimes you can heat it up a little bit as well and it goes softer, so you can easily get it out. But yeah, you know what we're like around here. So much going on, I just literally give it a little claw out like that. Literally just a little splash of it in there. Slowly getting there now, we're slowly getting there. Obviously I'll add the rabbit ear at the end, otherwise it just ends up flying out. What else? One other thing that I put in their diet. So this is a bit of calcipet.
Bit lower. Perfect.
Calcipet, so this is for growing puppies, so just a little bit of added calcium into their diet, where I've not got so much bone in their food. Just put a little bit in there for growing puppies, you know, for put them in there for growing puppies for their joints and stuff, because obviously they're not fused yet. So yeah, just to help them grow and keep them nice and strong, and yeah, just keep them good starting life, you know. Literally, I just put 2 for a big dog, 1 for a small dog, so puppy size. I'll just put 1 scoop in. So that mixed herbs. You see that? It's mad. The last thing that we put in for the puppies that are growing up, like I mentioned earlier, we're using Royal Canin baby milk for the younger puppies, but what we're using for our growing puppies is a bit of raw goat's milk. You can hardly see that on their logo because it's a bit watered down, but yeah, you get the drift. So I don't really measure it, to be fair with you, bro. I just make it, just wet up the bowl, you know. Not trying to measure it too much. Don't put loads in. You should really wean them off it, but I'm only putting a bit in there just for a bit of. I don't always do it up until about 8 months old. Just a tiny bit in there, not too much. So just squirt that in there, and then just before we mix it, okay, that's good enough to go on the Jamie Oliver fucking menu. So a good old little mix up. It's hard to keep it all in the bowl and show you, but yeah, just a little mix up. Nothing too mad. Soon be gone, trust me. Soon be gone. More so it's just so they don't sniff up the herbs, the mixed herbs and stuff.
Perfect.
Yeah, boom. That's what we feed. That's what we feed our puppies, growing puppies, from the age up to like 3 months, say even. All the way up to about 8 months. Obviously, the goat's milk will start to get weaned off of them as they get older. I like to give them a little treat every now and then with a bit of goat's milk. And then, yeah, basically put their natural dewormer in there, rub it in, and that's good to go. And then that's the growing puppy section done.
Perfect.
Yeah. So now we're going to show you what we would be feeding our females if they was whelping a litter or if they was pregnant. It's not too much different, it's just a couple more extra things that we would add to the diet, and probably a little bit, some things, if they was, say for instance, if they was pregnant, a couple things we'd add to their diet, and if they was whelping a litter, a couple things that we would add and take out a little bit as well. And let me show you. So first I'm going to show you what you would feed your dog if she was pregnant. So it's pretty much the same as what you'd feed every other female as well. There's just a couple more little added things that I would add once we've done the breeding, just to help stop cleft palate, to stop causing exhaustion, just to help the female through her pregnancy basically, and just to help the puppies come along and so they come healthy. See, we'll be using, once I know that they're confirmed, then I would obviously start putting them on. When I'm putting the supplement of a kibble inside their food, I'd turn them onto a puppy kibble, just to give them the nutrients that they would for puppies. Just something that I've done old school way, so something that I do. Not to say it does work or anything, but it's just something that we do at the lair, and it seems to work pretty good for us. So yeah, I'll just stick her to the same kibble that I showed you guys on the growing puppies. If this is if they're confirmed, you can still prep them up for if they waiting for you to get your scan. Not saying you have to wait for confirmation, it's just this is when I do the transition. So obviously same AVA kibble with that, same again, just a handful of it in there. This one is a turkey complete. Mixed grills at the lair, yeah? Straight mixed grill. It's a turkey, bit of lamb complete, yeah? But obviously, depending on the weight of your female, you would obviously feed them more, feed them less. If you've got a bigger puppy, obviously the food that I'm showing you guys is for XL bullies, and the females, you know, they roughly weigh from, let's say, 35 kilo all the way up to like 60 kilo, depending on the females they are. Certain bloodlines obviously carry different weights, so obviously a bigger female, you just feed them a little bit more content is what I'm showing you. So just for a little bit of example, it's not actually aimed at just a certain weight. You can obviously take this and compromise with your weights of your dogs. Remember, I do most of this by eye. You don't have to do everything by eye like that as well. It's just showing you that you don't have to stress so much about having to keep by regiments, and do you know what I mean? Obviously don't overdo anything, do you know what I mean? It's always good to do little bits and bobs, but then obviously don't. Same again, just mix it all up. Give it a little whip. So now I would be adding to their diet just normal folic acid. So I just put one of these in there. Don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but that literally like one little folic acid tablet. You can get them from the chemist. It helps with absorption. It helps with cleft palate, and just basically just helps the mother along like a pregnant care basically. So you just slap that in there. And then what else I give them as well is what you call a wheat germ oil tablet. Some people use the oils in a big bottle. I like to use the capsules because I feel like these are a little bit more concentrated. So obviously you use these with your studs as well, but we'll get into that later on. I'll just use literally just 2 of them.
Perfect.
So I use 2 of these. I'll put 2 of them into their food diet. And basically I do that from the first day of the breeding. So from the first day that you've done your breeding, I'll add 1 folic acid and 2 wheat germ oil every single day up until the day they have their babies, hopefully. That's pretty much all we add extra. Obviously we still put our turmeric in. Yeah, like I showed you guys earlier, we'll still add that in. We won't be natural deworming them every day, so we won't be putting the rabbit fur in. Obviously you try to worm them before the pregnancy. You can worm them via through it. 4 weeks before they have their babies you can do it. You shouldn't really do it anything before that. They say you can do different weeks and stuff, but yeah, they say 4 weeks old is really 4 weeks before she has her babies you can worm them, or you can wait until they get to about 4 weeks old and do them when they're here. So obviously I still give them their sprats. It's a bit of protein and stuff, a little bit of apple cider vinegar, just a little squirt in there. Like I showed you earlier again, calici. This is good as well for mothers that are pregnant, nursing puppies, and obviously the puppies that I showed you earlier. So just put a little scoop of that in there as well. Help them get their back on their feet properly. Give that a little whip. And that's pretty much what we feed the females if they're pregnant, basically. No secrets, no little hidden gems, just a 2 wheat germ and a folic acid a day. So basically we don't really do too much different between a pregnant female to a puppy whelping a female. More so, all I would do if a female was whelping, if she was struggling to like produce milk, you can get a tablet called a fenugreek tablet, and that will help her produce a lot more milk. You can also add some raw goat's milk to the food as well, and that will help her produce it a bit more. Just to help her basically. Remember, XL bullies are very hungry dogs from the day they come out. So basically you want to help your female as much as you can. If you take it in like this, when your pups get to say like, say 2 weeks old, you're looking at nearly 1 kilo of weight. If you've got 10 of them in your litter, that's 10 kilo laying on the mum now already at 2 weeks old. And then you remember, so I like to wean them off at 3 weeks old. You know, you got 4 weeks old, some people do it, and older, but you just have to take in consideration the weight of these puppies that are coming out, the size of them, especially the bloodlines that we're doing and the puppies that we're creating. You know, you don't want to be drawing too much out of the female. You want her to bounce back as quickly as she can. You know, there are pets at the end of the day. They're not here, they're not just breeding machines out here. So we want our females to look in best shape as quick as possible, and obviously to give the puppies the best chance in starting life. So that's what I would pretty much just stick to that. With the whelping of the female, just give her a bit more. Just give her a bit more, give her a bit more TLC. She's just had a litter, bless her. She's got a lot going on her plate with her litter, so just give her a bit more love, a bit more food, a bit more time and that. And because it's gonna take a bit of time. It does take it out of the females. So yeah, just make sure you concentrate on bringing them back, you know. Don't concentrate on trying to get your stories and your reels up. Make sure you concentrate on your females as well and get them back on their feet. Bless them, because they're the ones that have put you out there. It's a good old saying that we've used from the jump. Boys make you famous, girls make you houses if you do it right. So look after your stock and treat them like your family. Now we're going to show you what we feed our studs. As most of you know, we've got some top studs in our game. And yeah, a lot of them are big and strong, so we just want to show you how much we actually feed our dogs, how much time we put into them, and yeah, just going to show you basically the content of and the amount that they get. Not too much, not too light, you know. You just got to make sure you keep it consistent. That's the key to it, basically, being consistent. You can't just start oh, I'm going to do what this one's doing and do it for a couple of weeks and then come off of it, oh, it's getting a bit too much money, I'm going to start jumping on the kibble, and it don't work like that. You know, if you want something out of your dog, you've got to put into it, so you're going to have to put the value into your dog and the time. But the key to it is consistency. That is the key to it. Making sure you're consistent, you're on not so much on time when they're feeding. I don't feed my dogs at a certain time either. I like to feed my dogs at a random time, because obviously dogs are clever. These dogs are a lot cleverer than what you think. So you start feeding them all at 8 o'clock every night, they're going to start howling up your yard at 8 o'clock waiting for their grub. So, you know, I do it at random times, different times and stuff, just to keep them on their feet. But yeah, we're going to show you what we feed our studs and what they eat. This is Enzo's bowl, the big boy bowl, yeah? So let's just show you what we feed our big boy Enzo. As he likes his food, let me tell you that. I had the kibble that I showed you lot. Now we're gonna give him his meat content. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have to feed this boy like twice a day, because I'll be real. What I'm about to put in his bowl, he'll box off and ask for some more later. So obviously I'm feeding what I can. The boy gets two feeds a day. I do actually feed my dogs once a day. I do put a little bit of kibble out in the yard in the daytime for them to have some kibble as well. But yeah, I'm going to show you what we've, obviously with the big boy studs, we have to keep them tip-top shape. So we have to keep the consistency, like I said, it's the key to it. So this would be like his second feed of the day. He would have ate already this morning. So this is going to be the second content of the day of what he actually eats. Quick little 2 kilo, yeah. So my man's got beef and trout complete. And then the turkey and lambs, yeah. Right then. Little tecker as well to get rid of to get the meat out as well with these packaging. If you do use these, yeah, is get the knife, get them down the back, get some air down the back of it, and once you get the air down the back, it should just come sliding straight out. Sitting there trying to cut it, this, that. Obviously everyone's got their own way of getting it out, but I just find that's the easiest way of doing it. As you can see as well, guys, this kitchen prep area is just straight for my dogs, innit? This ain't my kitchen. This is literally built just for my dogs alone, for these reasons, for itself, so I can sit here, make sure I've got everything, all that I need, and it's, you know, everything's done properly. We've put a lot of time and effort into this kennel setup to make sure it's all done perfectly. And yeah, taking a lot of pride and joy into it. So yeah, just wanted to show you that. I know there's certain men out there still using the same washing machine as their dog beds. Don't even try to tell me you're not. Yeah? There's our one. Yeah, tumble dryer and everything. Certain man trying to wear their LV and that, smelling like dog and that. I'd rather wear my BullyLair t-shirt, mate. Smelling fresh. See that? Bloody hell, the weight of that. It's a bit harder as it gets bigger. But obviously we'll just whip this up, and then it's easy, bro. Man, just staring at me through the window, you know. Yeah, but yeah, we'll just whip this up, and then yeah, just make sure you can see the biscuit in there as well, because he does like a little bit of his biscuit, I can't lie. So boom. Obviously Enzo is one of our top studs, so little tip for you guys that obviously have studs in the game, and obviously say he's quite busy as well. I like to obviously add the wheat germ oil to the diet anyway, but say we have a breeding tomorrow, and you know, you want to make sure that he's coming out with a good semen count. Enzo's semen count is brilliant, through chilled, fresh and frozen. So the mobility is a main thing in the breeding, the semen itself. So what we like to do to keep his mobility nice and high is we're actually spiking with, like, say 10 or 15 of these the night before his breeding. If you actually tried it out yourself, you actually see a massive improvement in the semen count as well. So say for instance you've done your first AI with somebody, and the semen count mobility wasn't at the highest as you would have liked it, then go home, try this out, then when you come back for the second AI, which normally you miss a day, and you come back and do the second AI, you'll definitely see an improvement. And if you do, make sure you hit me up a comment on the video as well to tell me it worked. Yeah, boom. We'll just give him 4 anyway, naturally. Showed you them earlier. Yeah, just 4 of them in his natural diet. Wow. The boy eats them like fruitellas, mate. Yeah, they're his bad man sweet. You know, like that. You can also use something called optimal stud support. This is another way of using it. A few people have used this as well. It's been recommended. I use a little bit in there as well on the studs, just to keep the mobility, like I said, nice. And you don't know when you're going to get that phone call, so it's good to keep your boys ready to rock and roll whenever you need them, you know. So I'll put a little bit of that in there as well. So what I would do is just fill up the lid. It's like a gravy paste. Yeah, give it a little whip in there. Obviously give him his Peter the Rabbit. Yeah, his natural dewormer. I tell you what, I'm missing one thing for the bad boy. His sardine. I got a sardine for him. I'm gonna get the sardine for him. So boom, just like I said, got some sardines from KB Raw. Only a certain of these like them, but we like to add some of these into the diet as well for some natural omega fatty acids. Yeah, it's good for their coat as well. Certain dogs won't eat them. How we got our dogs to eat them was quite funny. It's like a playground in the yard. So we'll chuck one of them in the yard, and then one will be brave enough to eat one. And then when the other one sees him eating, he go, "Oh, what, you eat them, yeah?" And then he'll go over and pick his one up, and then and then in the end, within 10 minutes, they're all boxing them off. So that's another little. Obviously, you've got to have more than one dog for that tip to work. Not all of them, like I said, they won't just grab that up and just eat it. Do you know what I mean? So you have to like entice them to want to have it. But yeah, Enzo loves them still. Put that in there. Push that in there. One last little thing. I can't actually show you nothing else right now, yeah. But this is a little something that we've been trialing out for the last 12 months at the lair. A lot of people ask me, "Oh, how do you get your boys so big and muscular?" We're not saying this works, but we're just saying this is something that we have been trying the last 12 months. It's going to be a supplement that we're going to be bringing out ourselves from the lair. So obviously we just got the last few little bits that we're trying to wrap up together before we actually release it to the public. But yeah, this is a little supplement that we've been using. It's nothing too mad, it's more natural, more organic. It's more bits and bobs that you see me put to the diet, but all put into the one bag. Makes it more convenient for people to use. And just, so you don't forget no more like added extras into it, basically. With a few little bits and bobs that we've been trialing as well, and we've been seeing some massive results. So yeah, soon to be revealed, we'll show you the new sauce that we've been putting on. Yeah, so obviously you got to put your work, your time, your effort into it and stuff. We're just trying new bits and bobs. We've been also always trying to strive to get better out of our dogs. So yeah, we'll get into that. We'll go for a whole video once it's all come out. It's going to be a new supplement that we're going to be releasing to the public for everyone to be buying. So yeah, just bear with us. Few little bits and bobs. We're just finishing off the packaging and stuff like that. And then once we've released it, we'll do a few giveaways, a few little contests and stuff. And then yeah, we'll send them out to a few of the kennels out there, see how you look like it. And then yeah, just start it from there. We've been trialing it out for the last 12 months anyway. It's not something I would have just jumped into and then just thrown it out to the public. Obviously, we've been trialing it ourselves, and I've been seeing some massive improvements on all of them. You've been seeing some of the productions, you're seeing our studs coming through. We're bringing nothing but smoke for you guys, and we've got more smoke behind the scenes as well for you. So just bear in mind, the key today, that my main tip for everyone, for the food type of thing, is it's all well and good having the ingredients and stuff like that, but you just got to be consistent. That's the main key to it. Make sure you're consistent with your dogs, you put time and effort. This video that I'm doing for you, this is something I do on a regular basis every day. It's not something you can miss, do you know what I mean? If you want the best out of your dogs, you've got to put value into them, so you're going to have to put time, you have to put effort into it. So, you know, make sure your dogs eat the best as they possibly can. Don't just go and go buy some bakers, because I'll lose massive respect for you. Yeah, we don't mess with bakers around here. Yeah, so yeah, it's just like them roid boys at the gym. They're sitting there with bare water mats in them. They think they're henchmen. They're not. They've got no core power. Yeah, it's the same with the bakers. They're sitting there. They're looking all bolo and henchmen. It's just all water consumption. Yeah, this is how I at the lair feed all of our dogs, and you can see the results that we're getting from our boys, from our females, from our productions. So yeah, just a little tip to show you guys how we do it, and a little advice of how to maybe add to your diet and try it out. Maybe, you know, some things maybe work for you, some things don't. Certain kibble works for certain dogs. As you can see as well, we use the sensitive skin as well, the white fish, for the ones that are obviously hyper energetic. I can't even say that word, man. Try it though. You know, like for the mobility of the joint cares, the teeth, the bones, the advanced formula, the works in it. So yeah, we just try bits and bobs. As you can see, nothing is all just one brand. We like to try bits and bobs. We have different kibble for different dogs, for different situations. We have different raw, we have different supplements that we use for pregnant females, for whelping, for puppies, for growing puppies, for studs. So yeah, just basically just showing you what we feed our studs. And yeah, that's it. The consistency, the powder we'll be bringing you out, and we'll show you to the public very soon. But that's what a king's plate should look like. And like I said, this is 2 times a day. Yeah? Let's go feed it to the big boy.